Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I layer my skincare products, specifically in a routine that is tailored for acne. I think we gotta have some disclaimers on this video. I know that some people don't like introductions, so please know that there are timestamps in the description box below, but nonetheless, it's kind of important for this video. I'm gonna be showing you a lot of products, I'm gonna be showing you a lot of steps, and I'm not even gonna do all of them, just to kind of give you a spoiler here. Basically what I'm going to do is show you a lot of options. Everyone likes options. Some people like a more complicated routine, and some people like a much more simple routine. Now you should know my routine is going to be more complicated. It's definitely a more advanced skincare routine, and probably because I have a more difficult skin type. If you're new to this channel, I do deal with both dry skin and acne, and it is a fun combo, let me tell you. Which is why I may need more products and more skincare ingredients than some other people. In fact, I think it's really important for me to emphasize that this routine could easily be too much for the vast majority of people. And yet it is what works for my skin, and that's not even really that surprising because skincare is something that is very personal. It is important for you to find the ingredients in the products that work for your skin. Also in this video, I'm not actually going to focus as much on the products I'm using today. If you are interested in them, I'll have links in the description box below, and I'll put some videos in the corner if you want to see more. But I'm going to instead focus on the ingredients because at the end of the day, what really powers your skincare routine isn't who made your products, it's not the packaging, it's the ingredients inside. I know that some people are probably rolling their eyes at this intro, but do know everybody's at a different point in their skincare journey, and I think that sometimes it's important to have those very basic conversations. If you yourself are much more advanced and already knew all this, I do think you will enjoy the rest of the video, but let's go ahead and get into it. This video is of course my anti-acne routine, and just so you know, I alternate this in the mornings with a brightening routine. The products can change, the ingredients are the focus. And unpredictably for my subscribers, I'm starting this routine with this is kind of a micellar water, but typically a micellar water. This one I do have a full video on, so I will link that one if you are interested. I find that using a micellar water in the morning works wonders for my skin type. I don't even know if I should necessarily say for my skin type because I genuinely think it has to do with my water supply. Oh my gosh, you guys, we got a distiller, and R and I are both absolutely horrified by what came out of that. I have suspected for quite some time that our city water is terrible. Oh my gosh, that proved it. We didn't even buy it for health reasons. We bought it because the chameleons need a sprayer, and the sprayer only takes distilled water. The sprayer is more bougie than we are. I also really like micellar water because I'm always shocked by how much mascara is still on. Do you have any idea how thoroughly I cleanse my face at night? I mean, I'm going to show you, but how is it still there? I wanted to make sure I grab my Pixie Clarity Tonic, which I also recently talked about. This is a wonderful salicylic containing toner, no added fragrance. Most of what I'm showing you in this video does not have added fragrance, but yeah, it's really a great choice. I'm not going to use it because I just used a micellar water, a cleansing treatment. I keep forgetting to actually call it what it is, but I'm not going to use toner today. However, if you do wash your face in the morning, you may want to use a salicylic containing toner. However, I am going to use my Primera Miracle Seed Essence. This doesn't advertise itself as an anti-acne product. However, it seems to be one of the most clarifying essences that I've ever tried, and also it's hydrating. And again, like I mentioned, I have dry skin and acne, so it is so wonderful to get clarifying and hydrating properties from a product. At this point, I take a little mini break. I'll go start the coffee, maybe start some breakfast, and then come back and do my salicylic acid. Now, for me, I'm using the beta-hydroxy acid from the Inky List today. I'm not actually sure if this is my favorite anymore, but it's a good 2% BHA, so we're going to use it today. I should make sure I say it was my favorite for quite some time. Alright, now for me, I'm going to be making sure I focus this where I break out, which lately has been around the perimeter of my face. I actually kind of wonder if I need to look at my hair care routine. See all this over here? It's mostly cleared up now, but I'm not sure. Also my chin, because I do have hormonal acne, so I'm just kind of tapping it into my skin all over. Definitely the nose. There's nothing worse than a pimple on the end of your nose, is there? Actually, I'm not sure that's the most painful spot. I feel like the most painful ones are the ones right up on your jaw. Dang, those always hurt. I'm going to let that sit on my skin for a moment. I want you to know that you definitely can layer serum, so I'm going to be demonstrating that today. This is the Beauty of Joseon Calming Serum with green tea and panthenol, a great choice if you do have more oily skin. That's why I grabbed this particular one. Still a hydrating product. Green tea is a wonderful antioxidant-rich ingredient that also may help to regulate oil production. So thought this was a good pick today. The quick mini conversation here about do you need to layer or not. I think that if you're using a brand like The Ordinary, Good Molecules, Inky List, you may want to layer, as those are very straightforward, one focus type of products. More expensive products often have a lot more going on in them, so you may not need to layer if you're using more pricey products. You may not need to layer regardless. But I'm going to layer today, so let's go ahead and use some of this. Let's go ahead and make this the video where I talk about eye serum. Here's the deal. Just like with eye cream, this is absolutely an optional step, but if you're talking about ingredients like BHA or other really potent ingredients that you don't want to use around your eye area, you may want to incorporate an eye serum or an eye cream for your eye area. And some people are prone to milia, which are those little white bumps. For those people, you may find it's necessary to use an eye serum or an eye cream. The one that I'm using in this video is expensive at first glance, but for the amount of product you get for a product that is made for both the face and the eye area, I actually think it's one of the more affordable eye serums, especially if you guys got it in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I keep saying that. Am I going to say that forever? It was the Love Your Skin event. I actually haven't talked too much about this on my channel, so I'll really quickly mention, you get these little balls in here that burst open, so that gives you the freshest vitamins, antioxidants, and that's what you do get from this. You get a very antioxidant-rich formula, which is wonderful to protect your eye area. And then I'm going to use an eye gel. This is definitely a lighter one. That was too much product. This is the Good Molecules Yerba Mate Eye Gel. They did send it to me. I'll make sure I have all of that noted on the screen because I'm probably forgetting to tell you what was gifted to me and what wasn't. But this is actually pretty nice. It's definitely more lightweight, but I chose it again because I do think this could actually be a great product, especially for oily eyelids. It's very light. And you cannot beat the price. I can't believe they did it for $6. It's probably the most affordable eye cream I've ever heard of. I'm going to be using a face oil because, again, remember, acne and dry skin, so I do absolutely love oil. I think what I'm going to do in this routine is actually mix some of this into my moisturizer. So I'm going to be pairing the Butters Hygienics Tea Tree, that's not what it's called, Anti-Aging Face Oil, which contains 7% tea tree oil, which is another ingredient that is hit or miss for acne. Let me say that. It's a great ingredient if you are able to use it, as it's very antimicrobial, but it can be too much for some people. However, I love this product. You hear about it all the time on this channel, and I'm going to mix that into the Aveeno Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. I talk about adding oil to moisturizer if you have dry skin all the time. Let's go ahead and demonstrate it today. I do want to make sure you know that I don't recommend mixing the product into another product, as you could disrupt the preservative system. So I'm just going to do it on my hand. Why am I shaking in my coffee? And no morning routine is ever complete without some sunscreen, so I'm going to be using probably my personal favorite, wish it wasn't so pricey, but the Biossance Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. Since I do have allergies to certain chemical filters, this is a truly wonderful choice. I have to tell you all, as far as cosmetically elegant mineral SPF, I have not found anything better than this. You see how quickly it's buffing into my skin. Always do give your sunscreens a few minutes before you form an opinion, so I'll come back to you in about 5 or 10 minutes. But this one really is beautiful. Might be way too much dewiness for people who do have oily skin though. And that is it. We've come to the end of my morning skincare routine. I also want to make sure I let you know that for acne, I do use a benzoyl peroxide cleanser in the evenings. It's been a huge game changer for me, so I do recommend that if you have acne prone skin, if that ingredient works for you, of course. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have acne, do you have a very similar routine or do you do things quite differently? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.